everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Wanda.
And I'm Laurel Coe.
And we're the Molzacks.
Y'all like that?
Okay.
You know, a little in sync.
A little something.
Yeah,
really quick before we even get started, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, well, this channel. But let's just say we do have another channel called the Molzacks. If we want us to kind of revive that channel, then let us know in the comment section below by just like commenting, liking, all of that stuff. But today we're having a story time, and this is a question that we get asked often. Okay, so we thought we would just dedicate a whole video to it, and that basically is how we met. So I'm gonna let him talk about it, start us off. Overall, you'll see, you know, it's a little crazy.
And just by the way, she's pregnant with twins, and she's a champ right now. I've always told her she's like super mom at this point. Like, I don't know how she's doing what she's doing, but she's doing a great job. But in any case, we met in 2013. We met in 2013.
What does that have to do with it?
Huh?
What does that have to do with it?
Because, you know, you're breathing in and, you know,
Oh, because I'm breathing hard?
Just in case they wonder, like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Just because they don't know. You know.
Yeah, y'all don't know. I'm pregnant with twins. I'm
Right.
33 weeks pregnant, so.
Hey, 33 weeks today.
Yeah, it hurt. If I start breathing hard, that's why. So
Yeah,
thank you. You were trying to give me a disclaimer.
Yeah,
okay?
disclaimer, just in case y'all.
And if I start drinking water and all that.
Like, why is she breathing so hard? You know? She out of breath. Well, she's pregnant with twins,
Ooh.
so due any day, it seems like. So probably got at least 1, 2, maybe 3 more weeks.
1, 2. You better say at least 3.
They say 34 to 37.
I'm really trying to say at least 3, guys. So pray
At
for
least.
at least 3, okay? Don't be speaking that. We have the power of life and death in
Well,
our
I felt
tongue.
the first contractions the other day. And so I'm like, well, contractions are happening.
He didn't feel it.
I felt it. Her stomach was
felt
like
my stomach
hard as a
be
rock.
tight, yeah.
It's crazy. But in any case, we met in 2013. And I have to say this, that before we met, I was in a place where I desired a wife. And as far as me, I felt that I couldn't, I don't know, I was just in a weird spot that God kind of gave me this desire to seek a wife. Like, you need a good woman that's going to like be by your side and it's really going to help you with your life. And you need somebody that you need to grow with. And so I was like, when I was praying, I did a lot of different things to kind of get one with God. And within a month's time,
Sorry, guys.
in the summer, I told you it happened. I told you. Within a month's time, I was in the studio with my sister, and we were singing, doing our thing, and my sister was like, look at my Instagram, and look at the comments. They're hilarious. So I'm looking at the comments, and so I'm laughing, and I saw a girl named Wanda A. Nicole, and I was lurking. I was like, I clicked on her. I was like, yo, who is this? Like, she fine. Like, who is this? She's like, oh, that's Wanda, my friend. I said, well, how do you know her? Like, so she was like, well, she's my Twitter friend. I said, your Twitter friend? Like, you never met her or anything? No, we just been really cool. We were part of this group, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. Well, tell her I said what's up. Well, I got her number. I'm gonna text her. Text her. Yeah, tell her I said what's good. But for some reason that night, like, I was on a different level. You know how some guys, they just real brave sometimes, and sometimes they just real timid, just chill. I'm really a chill guy. But that night, I was like super hyped for no reason.
So
I
you're
was
feeling
like,
yourself.
I was feeling myself. I was feeling myself. And so my sister started texting her. And they're going back and forth, and then Wanda was like, I want to hear him sing because my sister said I sing. I said, well, give me her number, I'll sing to her. Just spitting at her, give me her number, I'll sing to her. And so she gave me her number, and I called her immediately. Like, I was on another level. I called her right then. I said, hey, what's going on, Wanda? How you doing? My name is Laurel Coe. What's up with it? And
I never registered your name either. I didn't know your name for a minute.
But this is the funny thing. So she knows that I followed her or whatever. I did something. And while her and my sister were talking, she started liking my photos. So she's trying to hype me up at this point. I'm like, oh. So
I can't like 3 stuff.
She started liking my photos. I was like, oh, okay, she liking the photos. All right, what's up? But that night we talked for about 6 hours. I think it was like 5 to 6 hours till sundown and sun up, should I say? And we just had a real conversation. I think it was for me not to have met her before or even know her, for us to have a transparent conversation, just generally talking about where we are in life, what we're looking to do. And it was just like, just real open and just, she didn't give me any fluff. Like, she didn't know me or anything like that, but she was just, boom, this is a straight shooter. And that's what I liked about her.
So basically, his background, where he was at, I was actually like in the middle of transferring from this school that I went to, and then I was transferring from one school to another, basically. And I was kind of also not just in transition that way, but like in transition as far as like my life, because I kind of was like in a, I would say maybe more like a backslidden state, you know, like I wasn't living for God 100% like my last semester of that college year or whatever. And then I was transferring, not because of that, but just because like that school was just a hot mess anyways. And like they were under like all these like investigations regarding accreditation. And it was just like a lot going on. But I was like, this is just my chance. Like, let's just, you know, turn a new slate or whatever. And I just needed to give my life back to God. Like, I just felt like I just was not 100% where I need to be. So when I met him, I was not looking for a boyfriend. I was not looking for a husband. I was not looking for like anything like that. You know, I was like, I'm trying to, you know, get myself together. You know, I'm still in college. I think I was a sophomore in college too. It was going to my sophomore year. So I was like, I'm not trying to be in no serious relationship, you know, and I'm one of those people, like, I'm just very blunt, I'm just very straightforward, all of that, you know. So when he was hitting me up and he's like telling me all these like things that his sister bragged about me and like said she's this and she's that, and I literally was like, no, like, here's the real, like, here's what I've been dealing with, like, here's where I'm at, like, I'm looking, you know, I'm open to being friends and all this and that. Well, we really didn't talk about relationships, you know, but like, I kind of like implied it basically. But we were just kind of like open about like, you know, this is where I'm at. This is what I've been up to. Like, I have not been, you know, like I'm in a place, I'm trying to get myself together. Like, I'm not really worried about all this extra stuff. Like, I need to get myself where I need to be, period. But, you know, if you're down to talk, cool. And to me, I really was like, I have nothing to lose. I don't know him. What's the chances that we're going to meet each other? Like, I'm bored. You know, school starts in a week. Might as well just chat, talk on the phone with the nice guy that sounds cool. You know, looks cool. Let's get, you know, when you just be like having those phone conversations. And the crazy thing about it was like, I wasn't trying to be cute. Like, I wasn't trying to be like flirtatious or nothing. Because sometimes you talk to people and like, you know, you
put on that sexy phone.
Yeah, like I was just 100% just like myself for once in my life. Not once in my life. I feel like I'm on myself often, but like with guys, you know, girls, like you either go out to date and you order a salad or you order the ribs. Let me know. But I ordered the ribs that day.
Right.
So yeah, then what happened?
Well, so we started talking. I think for the remainder of that week, we talked almost every day, and then she kind of went ghost on me. And I was like really confused for a second. I was like, you know, I thought we were going in a good, you know. It's crazy because that night or the next day, I went to the church, to my mother's church, and I had my guy with me, and we were talking, and I was like, hey man, I think I found her, bro. He was like, really? Yeah, I just had one conversation, but I feel like something is up with this, man. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. So we talking.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, I'm already in. I'm like, I think God is talking to me, like. She gotta be it, man. Like, I don't know how, but she gotta be it.
That's crazy.
And at the time, she was still in California, getting ready to go to Florida. And she ended up going to Florida, going to school. And so, and I have some friends, well, I have some family in Florida, so I'm very familiar with, you were in Orlando or Daytona Beach. I'm very familiar, used to go every year. And so I'm already, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, how can I meet this woman? You know, how can I, because my thing is, I'm talking to you on the phone, but I don't want you to be a catfish. I want to make sure I know how you walk, talk, you know. I need to know your mannerisms. So, you know, so I was like, I was really adamant on meeting her. But she went ghost on me, and she was like, not feeling me, I guess. And it was weird.
I knew that you were serious. Mind you guys, he's 4.5 years older than me. So
yeah,
he like had his job, like his car, like he had himself together, you know, he had his degree already. Like, I know, okay, first of all, if he's that serious about his own self, he's not trying to like just play me, okay? Like, you really know when a guy is serious about you, and if you have to question that, like, you don't need to know. Like, guys know right off the bat, you know. So I knew, like, okay, if I really give him a chance, like, he is not playing games, like, we're not about to be playing games, like, this man is about to really go ham, like, pursue me, cause he was sending me flowers and stuff, and I'm like, we're just friends.
I didn't see it to
like,
you.
one time he sent me a flower, right? He sent me some flowers, and like, I'm like, we're just friends. Like, I kept trying to tell him, like, we're just friends, we're just friends, we're just friends, we're just friends. And I'm getting calls from florists, hey, there's some flowers here for you. He would like remember little things in the conversation, like I liked Batman at the time, and he like sent me like a Batman shirt and bracelet, like stuff that I had never experienced before, like not even from my dad. Like, so this was just like weird for me. I was just like, yo, why is this guy like really liking me right now? Like, I have not even met him. Like, we don't even know each other like that. Like, we have great conversation. He's a really cool guy. Like, he's down to earth. Like, we vibe. But like, what is going on, you know?
Yeah, so we were talking, and she wasn't talking to me, you know, and I was talking and she wasn't talking to me. So I was catching her. I was
And
like,
you
hey.
went off on me.
Yeah, I didn't go off. I was just like, hey, you know, I don't understand.
You did
I remember
go
where I
off on
was.
me. Yes, you did.
I was at a drive-through. I think I was at Hardee's or something. Like, I was at a drive-through getting some food.
No, because he put he like posted on my Facebook wall like I miss you or
Did I
I
do
can't
that?
wait to see
That's
something
bold.
like
I don't know about
girly.
that
Yes, yes you did.
Wasn't that bold?
It pops up on my memories all the time.
Wasn't that bold?
And it was like some public, so I was like, wait a minute, now you trying
I don't
to,
think-
now you going public too?
I don't think it. I don't
Yes,
think
you
it's
did, and it was like something like you're amazing woman, something
something like it. But
with a heart. I don't know, something. And then I was like, oh no. So then I think I was like, wait, you're going too far, blah blah blah.
I was in a drive-through and I was talking to her and trying to get my food, like, you know, ordering my food. And I say, look, man, like, I'm just want to be cool with you. Like, I'm not
You
trying
did not
to force.
say that.
Yes, I did.
You're
I'm not
trying to be
force.
cool with you.
I said, I ain't trying to force anything on you. You're at a weird spot in your life, and I respect that and I understand that. But let me help you. Like, let me be there for you.
Let
know
me
what I'm
help
saying?
you.
Not like you need help, but I'm just like, you know, just let me be a friend. Like, you need a good friend right now. And she was like,
Trying to
yeah,
tell me,
whatever.
don't push me away.
Hey, don't
You know
push
we
me away.
vibe. You
Right.
know how we
We
are.
vibe, like, we in
you,
there.
Like
You know.
because you knew that I did like you, but you were trying to figure out why I kept running from you.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, and I was just, you know, I wasn't really used to that, but at the same time, I was like, I like that, you know. I like the fact that I had to chase her, you know. And so I told her, I was like, look, I want to meet you. I don't want to just have this kind of phone conversation. I really want to meet you. And she's like, no. I was like, oh, okay.
So then I talked to my friends, and I was just like, I was telling her about everything. She was just like, bro, you're tripping. Like, Wanda, you are tripping. Like,
Is that
and
when you met? Is that when you knew that we had mutual friends?
No.
I was laughing.
Well, actually, yeah. Okay, so we did have a mutual friend, and my friend, she was actually in the army, so she lived near him or whatever, and they're like in the same church community. So she was actually telling me like, yo, this is a really good guy, you know, like he's like well known, like people, you know, we don't want, you know, like he's well known, like people actually know him, so he's not a creep, you know, because those are my concerns. She was like, you know, he does music, him and his family, like they're really nice people. Like they have a really great reputation and stuff. Wanda, like this is the type of man that you've always said you wanted. Like, what is your problem? Why are you, you know, pushing him away? All of that. Then I had another friend, and like we would talk about it or whatever, and she was just like, girl, if you don't give him a chance, like at the very least, like just let him come and like just see, and then if it don't work out, then it don't work out, you know. So I was like, okay, well, the only way I'm gonna see him is if he, you know, like he need to take me to Disney World or something. Like we're not just gonna be going on no little IHOP date or whatever. Not IHOP, let's not say IHOP. Denny date, I don't know. So I was like basically testing him to see like how serious he was. So like when he kept asking or whatever, not like forcing, because he's really not a forceful guy. He's really like real like low key. Like he'll insinuate a lot. Like I'm very like straightforward. You're like so totally opposite of me. So she kept saying, so anyways, he was like, so if I were to come, like, you know, where would you want to go?
Like, what, you know, if I want to take you out, like, what do you want to do?
And so, and then I was like Disney World, but I didn't think he was gonna really do it. I was like, well, that's the only way I'm gonna go, like, you know. So I tested him pretty much, and he was like, all right, cool. The next day, he literally buys the tickets.
Like, yeah,
and he's like, yeah, so I just got the ticket, so what? Like,
yeah, so yeah, got the ticket, got the plane ticket, I was ready. Now, mind you, I've never flown a plane before.
yeah, that was his first time flying on a plane.
Flying on a plane. We've driven everywhere, so it was my first experience. It's like, okay, cool. And this crazy thing, so we agreed with at what time that we were gonna go, that I was gonna visit her, and so I had the tickets, went on the plane first time. Got off the plane. I was like telling the story because it's weird, because I'm like, so I get off the plane and go to Enterprise to get my car, and the guy was like, hey man, cool, what are you here for? I said, I'm here to visit a friend. And he was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna upgrade you to a Mustang convertible. I was like, for what? I just want a regular economy car, man. Like just a regular, with them Nissan Versas out there, just a regular car. Like, I'm cool. He's like, no man, you gotta make an impression on her, man. I said, I never told you I was meeting her. Like, I said, but I just feel like you are, so you got. I got you, man. It's a free upgrade. You gonna take it, right? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't. Sure, why not? So I get this. Upgrade. So I took the upgrade. I mean, why not? But I didn't want to make the wrong impression, as if like I got buku money. I'm like, I'm just a, you know, I work at a bank. I'm cool, but I'm not making buku money. You know, I'm doing good for myself. But I'm like, whatever. So I get the Mustang convertible, and I pull up at the dorm where she was at, and so I get out the car ready to greet her. And apparently she sees me and she's like, Rocco, get back in the car. And so I was like, okay. So I get back in the car and I'm on the phone, I think with my brother. I say, yeah, man, I'm here, man. Get ready to meet her, da da da. And then, Lord behold, she jumps in the car. I didn't see her. I don't know where she came from, but she just jumps in the car.
So what was going through my head, I'm really nervous. Like, even if I meet, like, just social media friends, like, girl, guy, whoever, I just get so nervous to meet people in person, like, for the first time. So my heart was beating. I was, like, nervous. We were, like, at this point, we were really, really good friends. Like, we would, Uvu, Skype, like, we would talk all the time and stuff.
Right.
So we were, like, I was super, like, relaxed with him. But I just, like, because he was waiting outside the car like this, and I was like, dang, he's going to have to, like, walk me. I was having anxiety, guys. I was like, he's going to have to watch me walk up, and then what am I going to do? Like, am I going to hug him? Am I not going to hug him? Like, I was so nervous.
Like, in hindsight, because my wife can be real clumsy sometimes. In hindsight, I'm like, oh, I can see why she gets nervous. Because she slick could trip, you know what I mean? But, yeah, she gets in the car, and everything was just normal, man. Everything was just, it was as if we've known each other for years. It was, like, nothing weird about it. We go to Disney World, and I think it was bad planning on my part, because I thought that Disney World would be like all day. So I'm like, you know,
It should have been.
That's like all day, you know, and we had a great time and we were ready to go. Like we both were.
The thing is, we didn't want to stand any lines. We're still like this till this day,
Yeah,
like as a couple. Like, we didn't want to stand any lines. We were not really, why were we like that? I don't know. We just walked around. We got on a few things, but like anything that had long lines, we were like, I don't feel like doing it. So. He kept trying to buy me stuff there too. I wouldn't let him buy me anything.
What's it called?
Yeah, because I'm looking at these things like, this is $15, $20. Like we went to eat first, and then we went to eat first.
Mm-hmm.
He paid for the meal and stuff like that. So I was like, I don't want to like keep buying stuff and like, I don't know. So I was just nervous. I overthink everything, huh?
Yeah.
I wish I would have got something from there, but.
Yeah, so you know, Disney World was over, so we left the park, and so I'm in the car. And I'm like, man, you know, what else you want to do? You know, I was like, you know, bad planning on my part. Like, I thought that this would be all day. So, like, because I'm kind of like spontaneous. I kind of go with the flow. I don't like to over plan when it comes to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very specific and strategic on things that I do. But on certain things, I'm like spontaneous. I'm like, so let's just do something spontaneous. It's just like, do something. I don't know. So we ended up driving the Atlantic coast. And so while we're driving the Atlantic coast, we just, you know, just driving, top down, driving, just killing, you know, just doing our thing. And we started listening to
sermons
and talking
like
about
worship
God,
music and stuff.
Worship music. It was just, you know, we just chill, just being ourselves. And so we pull up to a pier, where it's all grass and land on one end and all water on the next. And so we pulled off to a pier and we just began to worship God like on our own, own time. Like we just kind of just like enjoying the Lord.
And we gotta remake that date. That would be great. Huh?
That was awesome. Yeah. So I get out the car and I'm just in my worship space with God. She's in the car, and then we end up walking to the pier, to the beach, and so she walks to the beach, and this was like a moment for me. Like I knew that I was gonna marry this girl. Like for real. Like she was praying and she was looking out into the ocean. All you saw was her hair just flying back, or whatever. I was like, man, this is some beautiful thing right here. You know, I was like, this right here is heavenly, like absolutely. And so I carried her on my back, and we went back to the car, and it was just, I don't know, it's cool. So we get to her spot, and she's like, all right, talk to you later. You know, it was nice time. Boom, that was it. And we go to the next day, pick her up for church. We go to church. I wanted to see how she operates in church, you know, and she was real cute, did her thing, you know. She wasn't really concerned about what I was doing.
Gosh.
You know, so
and
just
everybody was like looking at us like, oh, you guys.
Yeah, everybody was
so
looking
nice
at us,
together.
and they just assumed that we was just it, like
together.
like
yeah.
together. I was like, you know, no.
We do look pretty cute together. We do.
You know,
maybe,
like,
you know,
okay,
maybe.
You know,
in retrospect, I was cute too.
I was alright. You know, I could look better.
No, I thought you looked nice.
I could look better.
He was buff too, guys. Like.
I had small legs at the time. I didn't work
You're a slender guy, but you have like a really good build. So I was like, okay, you know. I mean, I was like this little bit, like, oh, remember because there was like some cracks in the street, and I was like, oh my God, can I hold on to you? I was kidding. I don't remember that.
No, you did. Like,
we went out to eat, and then you went home.
We went to BJ's.
You went home.
We
went to BJ's, but then you went home that afternoon, and then he texted me. We did go to the mall. Actually, I forgot. Went to the mall. And then we went to eat, and then we went, he went home. Yeah. And then when he texted me, he was just like, you were everything that I thought you would be.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that text.
Yeah, I remember seeing it.
And then I was like, dang, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So like all my friends that I like was really close with, I was like, yo, like what if I get married soon? Like what? Cause I just like I felt something. Like I did feel something. It was perfect. Like nothing was wrong. He was just like great. I was like, man, he's cuter in person. Like stop. I was like, he's like, I was just like, I don't know. It was really a great time. So then after that, I was still kind of defensive or had a wall
Yeah,
up.
she had a little wall.
So I put my wall back up a little bit. We were still talking a lot, but I was like still not wanting to, I don't know, make it serious.
Right.
Did we were serious though?
No,
That was a month later.
Yeah, I flew you
So
up.
then.
Yeah, I flew her up to meet my family. It was in October the next month, and so
That stuff happened faster than I thought, huh?
yeah,
It was literally 30 days later. It felt like it was a long time.
30 days later, yeah, I flew her up to meet my family. Had a great time. I had a couple of gigs lined up that I had to sing at for that weekend, and so I was getting ready to cancel all of them so I can spend time with Wanda. And so she was like, no, I want to hear you in your element. I want to see you do your thing. I was like, okay, cool. And so I think that Friday night I had to sing at this one church. Yeah, so I sung at this one church on Friday night. Then we went to a comedy show that night thereafter. And then on Sunday, I had to sing at TSU. And it was like a nice little, it was like it was just me, my brother, and my guitar player. And we were just having a good time, just singing and worshiping God. It was like, 12 of us in there, 12, 20 of us in there, and we just getting to worship
Talking
God.
about Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
So, yeah, so of course, like, okay, so that was like crazy. So Sunday is when I actually realized like this is the man that God had for me. So we were literally like, I was sitting in the back and like he was singing like a song he wrote and stuff, and it was just like so pure. I heard his heart, and I literally was just like, wow, like, I started crying. Like I was literally boohoo crying, because it was like in that moment God was just like, yo, like this is the man that I have for you, and it's okay, because I feel like for me, I didn't think that I was lovable. Like I didn't feel like, someone could love me for no reason or just love me unconditionally. I get emotional. But I never felt like that, because I had a rough like childhood and stuff like that, and I was always taught that like people that love you, they only want you for one reason, like guys only want you for one reason, or people are always trying to use you, people are always out trying to get you. So my wall was always up. So like even when things would be great, I would always like second guess it or like whatever. But like when I heard his heart, it was like God was just basically telling me like, this is my tangible expression of love to you. Like this is going to be the man that I have for you, that's literally going to show you what my love looks like. Because we don't have to earn God's love, And so for me, like all of the things that like, not just sex, like that's what you guys are probably thinking, like, oh, guys just want you for one thing. Like that's a given, but like for me, I was gifted, and I have my own like things that people loved about me that guys would like, want to talk to me for or whatever, as far as like ministry and my giftings and things like that. And he never saw any of that. He never saw me in my element, to like love those things about me, or love that I'm smart, or love that he just really loved like who I was to him and our relationship. And so I'm crying because I was like, man, I can finally like accept his love, because this is getting a long video. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah. So anyways, I went down memory lane, about to cry.
So that was October the 27th. We were like, so what are we? I think she asked me the question, or I asked you the question. And I was like, I think we should make this official. Let's make a commitment and to each other. And so we made a commitment that day that we were going to be, it was weird for us to say boyfriend, girlfriend, because I feel like I'm too old to be, that's my boyfriend. I was just like, let's just be together,
Yeah.
So October 27th,
we never really called each other boyfriend, girlfriend, huh?
No, we really did. And so I think it was around December.
You did call me baby though.
Oh yeah. So
he slipped it in, like, yeah, baby. I was like,
yeah.
What did you talk about?
So it was in December. I was looking for ways for me to move to Florida. I was like, I'm about to move, like, because long distance is tough. And it wasn't really tough for us, but it was just like, like what can I do?
We're both just like down for whatever type people anyway, so.
So I was looking for places to work and do, to move. And she was like, no, don't move. I'd rather move to where you are. I was like, oh, okay, And so some things worked out where she actually moved in January. I didn't tell her to do that. She just
Okay, so
You move.
yeah, so of course, because I had like, you know, the childhood situation, like my parents really didn't have much to say in my life, you know, so everything I did was kind of like on my own terms, basically. So where I was at, mind you, I remember I told you I just transferred, so I was only there for a semester, and it wasn't like, you know, it's hard to find church, hard to find this, like, I really didn't get into it. I had great grades, but that's about it. Like, I didn't have any, like, lots of friends or family. So in Nashville, or Tennessee, whatever, on the outskirts of Tennessee, my friend lived there who I'd known since I was like 16 or whatever, and like her and her husband, and like they all had, like, they went to church there. He had his family, and like when I had visited in October, I loved his family, his sister, brother, all that. So I was like, you know, I can go there and like be around him, and I could be around like all these people that would be like uplifting, and I would be around them, and of course I have nothing holding me back here. So I didn't want him to come to Florida and like it just be like him and I, like we have no community, no people, no accountability, no nothing. So I was like, I'm down to just move to Tennessee, because the school that I would have went to, it was like way cheaper, and just everything just was all around better. It was literally no reason for me to stay in Florida. Besides the fact that I'm transferring schools a lot. And then my friend was like, yeah, just come here. Like, we have an extra room. You can just stay with us for, you know, until you get put onto the dorms and all that. That would be fine, you know. And so college is super lonely. I was like, okay, I prayed about it, got peace about it. And I was like, why not? I was only 19 at the time too. In retrospect, that was crazy. But, you know, like when you know, you know. And when you have a relationship with God, it's like God will definitely lead and guide you, and you know when you should be doing something, you know when you shouldn't be doing something, whatever age you are. And so for me, my parents, like, I told them what I was doing. They never were like, oh, that's dumb, you know, because they really trusted me, and they knew like I was mature. I thought my decisions through. I never was the type to just make weird, radical decisions that just like, I didn't really make a lot of mistakes as far as like big ones. So they trusted that or whatever. So I moved there in January, and then
Then we fast forward, and I was talking to my friend. I was like, it was crazy. It's happening so fast. Now in hindsight,
right.
I was talking to my friend. I think it was in February. I said, man, I think I'm gonna ask her to marry me soon, man. And he was like, okay, man. Da da da. He was talking to me. So I began to do like ring shopping. I was on the hunt for ring shopping, and then I think it was in March or April or something like that. I took her to a ring shop, just kind of see what her ring size was, and we just looking around. We at the mall one day. I was like, hey, let's walk in here, like see what's up, And we walked in, got a ring size, and looked at some nice rings. Women, they pick up the most expensive things. Great, high taste. And so I think it was around. No, it was about the beginning of April. My family, we always do a trip every year, and so this year we
It was May.
Well, we went in May, but in April,
oh yeah,
we planned a trip to go to the Bahamas and do a cruise to the Bahamas. And so my mom, we all talked. She said, invite Wanda. That'd be great for her to come along. I said, all right, cool. And so I told my brother and I told my family, like, I think I'm gonna propose to her in Bahamas. And they were like, oh, that'd be great. I was like, yeah, man, let's do that. And so we get to Bahamas. We're on the cruise. I think it was the second night that we were there. It was a formal night. And so I talked to the captain. I say, it was actually Mother's Day at the same time. And so I talked to the captain and said, I want to propose to my girlfriend. And, hook me up, man. Like, I don't know, hook me up. I got some flowers, da da da. He was like, all right, cool, I got you. And so on formal night, we're all sitting down. And I told my wife, told Wanda, like, I'm gonna do a presentation for Mom for Mother's Day. So it was crazy because I was like super nervous. And I'm usually not a nervous guy, but I was like shaking, I was sweating. I was like, this is crazy, what am I doing? And but I knew it was the right thing to do. And so we go. The captain's talking. He has the mic, and he hands me the mic. And I tell her how I feel. Got on my knees, and asked her to marry me. And it was the best decision that I ever made. So that was in May. In the Bahamas, I asked her to marry me on the cruise to the Bahamas, and from that point forward, we were
and then after that, so I have a family. One of my family members, my aunt, she took care of me when I was like till I was 9 months or whatever. But she was always like in our lives, and like we would see her on the summers and things like that. Like so. She never had kids or anything like that. So when I told her like about him, and she that he was a Christian, we're Christians, this and that like he proposed to me. she was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I think I want to do this wedding. Like, I want to just support you. And I just want to like, she's like, I have money just to do, you know, like to do a wedding in the family. Cause we haven't had a wedding in our family in a long time, you know? And so it was a really big blessing. Like she offered it and she like literally just put like the money in my account, like money for all of my wedding expenses. Like she just put it in my account the next day. So literally I was like, yo, I was still in school, so I was like, do I want to wait till next year to get married? And then, I don't know, it was a lot. So because I already had the money, and I was like I was going to plan my wedding from Tennessee in California, which I did. I was like, I already have the money, like, let's just do it. Like, it was May, so I was like, 6 months is a good time, you know? So I planned my wedding. We just planned the wedding, and then I went back home for like 2 months before I got married to like get everything last minute stuff in order. And then we had a wedding, and we got married, and then we lived happily ever after.
Yeah, so we met in August, got together October 27th, got engaged in May, around May 5th, May 6th, and then we got married October the 24th. Of that same year.
Of 2014.
Of 2014.
So now we've been married for 5 years.
And that's not without, you know, there were some things that we had to go through. It's not like it was just all perfect peaches and cream after we got engaged.
Oh no, we went through a lot.
Went through a lot, you know.
We moved across the country, lost your job.
Yeah, I lost my job the 2 months or the month before.
A month before we got married.
Yeah, it was interesting, and so that was random, and God really tested my faith there. And then, so after we got married, we moved across the country.
Moved from Nashville to San Diego. We drove 30 hours.
Drove 30 hours, and ever since then, you know, career-wise and as regards to our relationship, it's kind of like skyrocketed. It was
just been growing
every single year.
I would say that the biggest thing or takeaway from our relationship, even from day one, has always been about faith. You know. And we don't recommend trying this at home, you know, like we don't have a magic potion for relationships. That's why it's kind of like difficult or hard to talk about, because like people always want to talk about, you know, this is what we did to get married, and then it feels like you have to do the same thing, or don't do what we did, because our formula is literally just God. Like we literally just had faith in God, trusted in God, and then followed God's path and God's direction, and then this is our story, you know?
And I want to say this too, but I want to put a plug in that, because, you know, how I pursued my wife is like, it's unlike any other. It wasn't me pursuing her. It was like the God in me pursuing her. It was random, because I could have gave up. It was long distance, and she was giving me the runaround sometimes. She was ghosting me, and I could have said, just forget it. Matter of fact, many times I was like, yo, I'm not dealing with this. Like, she ain't hollering at me, whatever. But God had me pursue her in a way that was just, it was like somebody was leading me toward her, and it was crazy. And that's when I knew, I'm like, okay, I really got to make sure that every move that I make is a God move, because I feel like this is a God move. And so our relationship, like you were saying, is like based on faith, based on, though it was from Instagram and it was random, and it was within the month that I was asking God to give me a wife. Everything that happens in our life, or that has happened in our life, has been like a God-led move, like a faith move. And I think that's so important, to be with someone that has the same measure of faith that you have, and that we can walk in it together and not be shaken, not be shook, but just be like, okay, you have faith, I got faith, we in this, let's do this. We're going to pray about it, let's pray about it, we're going to get confirmation. But you know what I'm saying, and we just move forward. We never look at each other in doubt or fear. We always say, okay, you know, if you feeling some type of way, I'll pick you up. If I'm feeling some type of way, she picks me up, and we move forward. And I think that's just the perfect recipe for success in a marriage. Is just, you both got to have faith, and you both got to be on the same page. So that's just our story.
And I will say too, like our viewpoint, our perspective of like what happened is just like our perspective of what happened. Of course, there are people on the outside. He was getting calls, I was getting calls. What are y'all doing? This is crazy.
You shouldn't marry her.
You shouldn't get married. You don't know her. You don't know him. You don't. Then it's a bunch of stuff. But overall,
5 years in,
it was like our decision. It's between our relationship with God. So you have to have your own relationship with God. We're not saying do anything toxic, do anything stupid. Like when he lost his job, people were blessing us from left and right. It was not like we were trying to force anything. If you have to force anything, it's not going to happen. But things that fall into place, I feel like that's God. Like the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will, what?
Your desires of your heart.
Come on. But you know, so overall, we just want to share that. We get this question a lot. If you guys want to know more, if you want to know how we moved across the country, if you want to know all of that kind of stuff, let us know. We don't want to talk your ears off. But thank you guys for watching. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I just said enough.
Okay. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for following our journey. Like I said, we're 33 weeks pregnant with twins. If you guys want to hear another faith journey, then go watch our Barbados situation. Watch all of our vlogs on how we conceived, the struggle. Just, you know, we've been through a lot, but God has been faithful and our relationship has grown. I'm grateful I don't have a man that's like, you know, just, you know, crazy. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people ask me, like, how did he deal with this? What about my husband? He doesn't feel like he needs to support and this and that. Like, from the jump, he's always pursued me. Like, no obstacle has ever stopped him, you know. So I feel like you can find that too. You don't have to settle for someone that just, like, doesn't care about you and, like, whew, I'm talking too much. Probably gonna cut this out. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for coming to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment below. Let us know what you think about this video, and we'll talk to you next time.
Take care. Peace and blessings.